The Prose Bros podcast. The Prose Bros podcast.
The Prose Bros podcast.
The Prose Bros podcast.
Prose Bros podcast.
The Prose Bros podcast.
Prose Bros, Prose Bros, Prose Bros.
Prose Bros podcast.
So,
Janet Reno died.
did she?
Yeah, she died today.
Really?
Yeah.
Why do I feel like you're fucking with me?
I'm not fucking with you. It's nobody cares because she's a woman in politics.
Oh, I think I might cut all this out right
It's
now.
cold-blooded though, man, but people hate women. I mean,
Yeah.
look at Hillary Clinton, man. There's no reason to hate her, really. To hate her? No.
Well, if I leave this in, you're just going to get more trolls.
Fuck it.
Like earnest
okay.
trolls, though.
They look like him. It's really funny. You're an idiot. You're stupid. Everything sucks. No, dude, I just read a bunch of news. And I know what's actually going on. But, okay, yeah, she's evil. She's an alien, whatever.
And it's funny that if you have an opinion, people are like, you're an idiot. It's like, okay, why don't we talk about the
No, you
differences
can't talk.
in our
You
opinions?
can't talk in this fever of shit.
And if you feel one way, tell me about why, and I'll listen, and I'll tell you, and we'll go from there. And if we still disagree, that's cool. Let's have a discussion about it instead of being like, well, you're a fucking moron.
I wish that could happen. That's the only thing like I do with you. That's why I enjoy talking about everything with you. Because we can actually talk about stuff and be like, this is what I think, and you say, this is what I think. But everybody else, right now, there's this fervor of hatred in both ways, man. Everybody's so mad. And for different reasons. Some people are mad because they're like, what? I'm racist? What? No, I'm not. And they're like, yeah, you're racist. And they're like, wait, no.
Because they're racist. and
Yeah,
you
they're
don't.
like, they didn't know that they were racist. And they're like, no, I'm not. You can't call me a racist. You're calling me names? This is because of Obama. And then they just follow this gravy train of this asshole that's super racist. It's like uber racist. And he's got his uber racist clones. And then he's going against a woman.
Well, the crazy thing is, I don't think he's super racist. It's unfortunately acceptably
Yeah.
racist.
Yeah.
Because it's not like he's all like,
He's acceptably misogynistic and acceptably racist in our country, man.
I don't know how that happened. It's sad.
Yeah, it sucks that half of our country is pretty much that way. God damn it. I would actually vote for Jill Stein, but I just don't. I mean, no. You know what?
I'd vote for Ben Stein.
Well, number one, I'm happy to vote for Hillary. I was happy to vote for her 8 years ago before Barack Obama. I was happy to vote for her this time before Bernie Sanders. But then Bernie Sanders came up, and it was like a glimmering light, and I get that. But she deserves it, man. It's like you're working at this place, and this lady has done a stellar job, but she's kind of a bitch. And every day you get there and she calls you out on being 5 minutes late. She calls you out on taking your break too long. She's this lady that's really, really good at her job, and she keeps this place afloat. And she's been working there for 20 years. And then this like other person comes through the door and kind of is just cooler, more hip, more willing to work with your schedule, you know, all this stuff. And you start liking him more. But that lady is the person that got your company to where it is, you know, and she deserves it. She deserves the presidency's position. She deserves
tell you,
it.
like, my job, I feel like Hillary. The way
Yeah,
you describe that,
yeah, it's
I'm
like-
Hillary.
And she's just overlooked, and everybody is now like, well, she's horrible. And I'm like, well, what makes her horrible? And absolutely nobody can give me a decisive answer to that. Nobody can say it's because of her foundation doing this.
Yeah,
yes, I can say like the drone stuff is really bad. I can say that the fact that she is aligned with frackers is really bad. But everybody is aligned with them except for Bernie.
So, you know, having a foundation that helps Haiti and other places and profiting off of that is bad. However,
I don't know if she really profits off that, though.
well, my thought process is, even if she does, and not that I'm okay with it, I just feel politicians are horrible people, and they're all doing stuff like that. We just don't know as much.
Of course, there's always profit on nonprofits, which is fucked up. But at the same time, actually, the Clinton Foundation, what they do is pretty much aligned, and everybody that's inside of economics will say that they don't do anything that's really out of line. they take other people's money and they use it to spend on people. Whether or not they use their own money, they don't. All right? So it's not like they're being the most gracious, generous people in the world, but they are taking other people's money and using it for good purposes. Whether or not this is good or bad, that's fine, but they didn't buy a fucking painting of themselves. And it sucks to have to compare her to Donald Trump.
Well, you have to, because that is what is
what's
going on.
But at the same time, it's like she's not a bad person, and nobody will even consider that.
So I'm not going to say that she's a good or bad person. I'll say Trump's a bad person.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that she will be a better leader because she has more experience than Donald Trump.
Yeah, and that will mean more of the same bullshit. That will mean more dealing with a House of Republicans that don't let her pass anything. That means that she'll probably be in court for a long time. But nobody ever holds Republicans responsible for the fact that the House has been the lamest fucking House in all of history. And it's getting to the point where it's like the pot calling the kettle black so much that everybody's like, well, fuck these guys too. We're going to vote for Trump. And now we're in this position, you know?
And the funny thing is, like, you go anywhere, and do you want the person who has the least amount of experience doing anything? You go to the grocery store, and it's a brand new cashier or the person bagging. You're like, oh, no, I like my regular person.
Unless they're like...
Well, the regular person is Hillary.
Yeah.
She knows. Trump has no idea what he's fucking doing.
No
Saying,
idea.
I will hire people who know. He doesn't know the people who know.
No. And he's already alienated them by insulting them for this whole year.
Threatening them.
Threatening them, threatening her, threatening us. I'm Mexican. Like, that's threatening to me. And I don't know, man. I meet all sorts of white people all the time.
Well, you're
I get
Mexican?
Yeah.
Well, then you're a rapist and a thief.
Oh, yeah. Well, there was that one time.
Don't forget that.
I have to say that it's just really, really it's uncomfortable to think that half of the country feels threatened by and they're threatened. I understand. You're going from a position where you're on top to a position where we're more all together. But at the same time, we're not even there yet. We're going from a disparity of, like, you know, privilege to absolutely no privilege to maybe a little bit less. And the whole world's not going to change overnight.
The funny thing, a lot of the people who are supporting Trump, they're privileged because of skin color, not because they're rich. So it's like, really, you're voting for
this guy that's going to ruin your chances of becoming more wealthy,
or even just slightly better off? And I think that's
it's really sad, man. And it sucks because, like, from the bottom, it can't get much worse, man. We're pretty much at the bottom of the specter, you know. So no. But I mean, I'm not wealthy, and I don't really think I'll ever be wealthy.
Neither of us are wealthy, but we're not like that bad.
Oh no, we're definitely not that bad. Still covered in debt. I'm covered in debt, but school debt. But
by debt, do you mean semen?
Yeah, mostly semen. Some piss and shit. It's like the cover of that Metallica album. Load, and Reload, because they're gross.
I knew that, but I also we talked about a lot of cool stuff, and we started talking about Metallica's Load albums, and I was like, no, conversation killer. Fuck that. Fuck those albums.
So where were we?